Tom Homan announced a massive drawdown of the federal presence from ICE that will be there. It was with unprecedented cooperation from local police. We were talking about 700 federal agents who would be departing the Twin Cities.
I'm actually amazed at the cooperation and agreements we already talked about and the willingness to work with us. We're doing better than I ever thought we would, seriously. And I'm excited about getting back to the business of enforcing immigration law without without arresting people for 111 for interference and impeding. We just want to do what we've done for 30 years, 40. I've done it for 40 years. We want to get back to doing the job, and that's what we plan on doing. And we're not, I want to keep this, because I keep hearing it and hearing it and hearing it. We're not surrendering the president's mission on a mass deportation operation. If you're in the country illegally, if we find you, we'll deport you. But this is about target enforcement operation, and that's what we're going to be doing.
There's still going to be 2,000, according to Tom Homan, agents there. This is just the first step in drawing down because, in his opinion, there should have never had to have been 2,700 plus agents there to begin with if there was that cooperation between the state partners and the federal enforcement arm. And so when you start to look at this as well, when you saw how out of control it got, when you saw even the raid on the church by the leftist agitators and that led to the arrest, it got so out of control that, as he even said, a lot of their arrests then were them detaining people that were obstructing the law enforcement instead of even the core mission. Tom Homan here is being able to get back to the core mission, making sure that they can focus on getting the illegal criminal aliens detained and out of the country, as he said. And so I think that's important to show here. But I think also, instead of looking at Tom Homan as someone who's capitulating by taking 20 to 25% agents out that he no longer feels are necessary because of the steps you are seeing from the local leaders. And I want to play bite 2 from Tom Homan here in a second. But once again, at the same time, you could say the same if you were on the left. Oh, this is capitulation from Tim Walz, from Attorney General Ellison, because they are now allowing him to take criminal aliens at the place where it's the safest for them to do it. We want ICE out completely. So whenever there is some sort of meeting in the middle, when it's such a charged political moment like we see here, I feel like you're going to have people on both sides. They're going to make that an issue. Say, oh, how dare you capitulate? Instead, I am happy that this could potentially lead to safer immigration enforcement, not just for the officers, for anyone that decides that it's their cause to get out there and obstruct and impede and try to do all the things that they've been doing. I don't want to see more people hurt, whether it be an American citizen that's a civilian or law enforcement. But let's go ahead and play bite 2, because I think this is really telling that the people that were obstructing the whole time were the leaders, and now all of a sudden they're not doing it anymore. Bite 2.
I want to thank the sheriffs, the governor, the AG. I think we're in a lot better place than we've ever been in. We never had this kind of cooperation at this level. And I'm not leaving until we get all done. But I'm happy to say I'm extremely pleased with the leadership team and their outreach to the sheriffs, to the state, to the chiefs. I've talked to many of them. I didn't talk to all of them, but I plan on talking to every one of them before I leave and thanking them for their cooperation.
This is the guy that the former Secretary of Transportation Castro had said has a heart of darkness. This was the ultimate evil for the Democrats, Tom Homan. And now you start to see that whenever they find a new evil, another more evil person, because they demonize every single person on the right and in the Trump administration, that, well, he sounds actually like the rational one. It's because you never were listening to begin with. When he is wanting to enforce the laws of this country, it's not because he has a heart of darkness as an evil person. It's because he wants to enforce the laws of the country. That's what he's done his entire career. That's why he was given commendations under administrations like Barack Obama's, because these are serious people. And when you hear these words, I don't see them as a capitulation at all. I see it as him knowing how to efficiently run this system and wanting to do it more efficiently.
From Tom Homan, he said, I'll say it again. This is efficient, and it requires only 1 or 2 officers to assume custody of a criminal alien target rather than 8 or 10 officers going into the community and arresting that public safety threat. And again, he said, we currently have an unprecedented number of counties communicating with us now, allowing ICE to take custody of illegal aliens before they hit the streets. Unprecedented cooperation. So essentially saying, we don't need 8 to 10 officers going after one person or whatever it may be. We're going to scale that down. We only need 1 or 2. And that is going to help the visual a lot. It's going to help the conversation move forward. And look, I think it's important when you have the chaos surrounding Minnesota to have a moment where it does feel like there's some bipartisan work and bipartisan effort. And if the intention, and look, you could say surrendering, I doubt it. This is probably coming from the very top, to go in there and to bring the tone down.
We want to get back to the original footprint, the Minnesota footprint of what ICE officers looked like before this operation, plus the additional hires through the big, beautiful bill. A lot of these people, they got agents here from LA, New York, and Portland. There's problems there too. So we want to get people back to their home stations and enforce immigration laws in those areas. But the vast majority of sheriffs, there's only a few that we're still in consultation with, but this is unprecedented cooperation. So again, I want to thank the sheriffs, the governor, and the AG. I think we're in a lot better place than we've ever been in. We never had this kind of cooperation at this level, and I'm not leaving until we get it all done.
Yeah, so you sit in sort of the adults in the room, and stuff can get done, and this can happen.
Well, once again, the governor, who he's thinking there, was the one going out on television saying we are at war with the federal government, calling ICE agents Trump's Gestapo. The rhetoric that was coming from yes, and that's what's so disgusting to me is that it's a tired phrase, but playing political chess, using your people as pawns, it's what they were doing. Even the people that weren't necessarily paid activists, people that maybe genuinely are concerned about whether they're correct because they have good facts or not, but there are people that genuinely do not like what ICE is doing because of imagery they've been shown, and they feel a conviction about that.
But the way that Tom Homan worded that, I actually felt a bit of relief. I think that that's good. A bit of relief and a bit of unity, because Minnesota is not its own country. It is not its own land. It is part of the United States of America, a place that I've enjoyed visiting over the years. So it's nice to not hear this sort of us versus them version.